we're about to try is right here.
Yeah, what we're about to try is right here. This is our thank you podcast. And thank you to all of our subscribers, our watchers, listeners, viewers, all that kind of stuff. We appreciate your support. And thankfully, due to your contributions financially, we're able to try something that is normally out of our price range.
Definitely out of our price range, yes.
Normally not something we would go for, and so we are able to try it and share it with you. And this is now an annual affair.
It's an annual thing.
Yeah.
It's the second year in a row.
Second year, so this is becoming...
It's a holiday tradition, not only for us, but for you as well. So please join us as we continue this tradition.
As we continue this tradition of buying another whiskey and sharing it with all of you. For this, give it a shot. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Keith. And we are AboutBeverages.com. And the beverage that we're about today is the Balvenie PortWood single malt Scotch whiskey, aged 21 years.
Yeah, this is another conversation that we had with Scott down at Total Wine. We went into him again. We had seen him last year. We see him quite often throughout the year.
Yeah, well, he knows you by name.
He does know me by name. Like I said, I've taken many of his suggestions, and they've all been come out very good.
Yep.
And so last year, he led us toward the Duncan Taylor Dimensions Highland Park 19-year,
yeah.
which we loved. It wound up being fantastic. So we were lucky enough that he was working again.
You can go back and watch that video in the archives
of course.
About Beverages.
Yeah, of course.
And
so we went down there again. We were able to talk with him. Thankfully he was working.
Yeah.
We told him what we were looking for, that he hit a home run last year. We told him, kind of what our new budget was, which we'll discuss in a minute. And so he started pointing out some different things. There were some different bourbons. They weren't all Scotches again, but we kind of wound up gravitating back toward the Scotch again because, like you talked about, we have a lot of bourbon throughout the year. We do have Scotch too, but Scotch still kind of holds this like little bit of a mysterious element to it. Would you say?
A little bit more, yeah. And we had, and last year we had narrowed it down to 5, and then we selected from that. This year we had narrowed it down to 3, 2 Scotches, and 1 bourbon. Which actually that was a really cool thing too. He gave us a try of the bourbon he was recommending to us of the baby brother of that. Of that, and it was good. So we at least had an idea of what Big Brother might hold in store for us. But ultimately, we decided that we kind of wanted to go the Scotch route. So not kind of wanted to. We did want to go.
We did want to. So this is what we have selected. It is. Like I said, not without great care or great expense. So what was the total on this one?
This year's was what, $250?
$250 before tax.
Yeah. So once again, we appreciate all of our subscribers, followers, listeners, anyone who stops by and contributes, shares their thoughts and opinions. We appreciate that very much, and the money that we do get from what we do, we try to put it back into the podcast, whether it's equipment, which we've been trying microphones that hasn't worked.
Yeah, it's not worked
yet,
out well.
But we're going to figure that out. And in this case, like I said, it's the beverage itself. So we really do appreciate all of you out there and all the time you spend with us, and it means a lot to us. So we're saying thank you by at least sharing that, doing a podcast on that, and at least we can let you know what we think of this particular beverage. So PortWood. So this has been aged. It's whiskey that's aged in American oak, correct? 21 year matured in American oak, that then they finish in port pipes.
Yeah,
and they look kind of like barrels, but they're like taller barrels. They're not
tall.
Wider,
yeah,
but they're called pipes. And these port pipes have held port for 40 years.
Yeah,
so
they were very old. They were very old barrels to begin with, and then they wound up using them for that. David Stewart, who has been there for now well over 50 years, this was kind of one of his brainchilds. He had done some double wood where he was using some lesser aged whiskeys, and they were putting them in sherry barrels and different things. And then he said, "Hey, let's take one of our 20-year whiskeys and let's try these port pipes." So that's what we have here today, and it is right here off camera, just
right
slightly.
There.
The box right here, it is a little hard to see. It's a little bright.
Yeah. A
little bright. Packaging, once again, really cool, similar to the Dimension, where it's got a little bit of a snap to it. There's a little bit of a metal something or other. And then, obviously, the bottle contained within.
Yes.
Normally, this is wrapped in tissue paper, but we've already taken that off.
Yes.
Yeah, we've already taken that part off.
We have removed that part.
Yeah, we have removed that, so we didn't have any issue. We removed that right away.
Because tissue paper can cause lots of headaches.
It can cause lots of the tissue causes issue, as they like to say. So we have already opened this because we wanted to let it breathe a little bit.
That's right.
Give it some air, as it were.
That's right.
And so we're going to go ahead and open this up and pour a little for each of us.
I think
Your glasses
it should be
way farther away.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay. Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Set that off to the side.
Yes.
All right. So, color. What are you thinking?
I believe we've got some of that, like an orange, a little bit of copper, a little maybe honey mixed in there, something like that.
Yeah, I would go honey.
The video that we watched, they mentioned pink.
Yeah,
pinkish. I don't really pick up on that, but
a pinkish hue.
A pinkish hue.
Yeah.
That's right. But I don't quite pick up on that. So
Yeah.
But yeah, it just looks kind of like a fairly
A darker honey.
knowledgeable, or a fairly well-known color of bourbon or scotch. It's the color of scotch.
The color of scotch. It is the lesser-known Tom Cruise, Paul Newman movie,
That's
The
right.
Color of Scotch. All right. Well, let's see what we get on the nose.
Okay. Subtle. No, wait.
Yeah.
That's something
No.
else.
That's another reference.
I get I get some caramel, so like a creamy nuttiness going on. There's a little bit. I get just a hint of vanilla in there. I know one of the sniffs I thought maybe I got a little bit of heat.
Okay.
And that made me think of cinnamon, but I don't think there's any cinnamon in there.
Okay.
But just some nice nuttiness, a touch of fruit, and like a little maybe vanilla. Just a little vanilla, but that could be the oak, but
I'd like to have some amazing, huge disagreement with you and have a big conversation. Unfortunately, I can't. I completely agree. I get maybe a little more, like I said, I definitely get the caramel, and then the nuttiness is almost like a hazelnut, macadamia nut kind of thing. That's definitely in there. There's definitely it's very well restrained. It hits you first, but it's very restrained. There's the general peaty, a little bit of light smoke, but it's definitely pulled back. The vanilla, and I get some light cherry. There's a little light fruit in there. Very complex flavor. Very well balanced between all of those aromas though, like the vanilla being kind of the lighter one in the background.
Well, and we're not sure what port, what type of port was aged.
Yeah,
in these.
it's true.
Because of the nuttiness, we're guessing maybe it was a tawny or something that was more along those lines. But there also is a little bit of the fruit in there too. So.
All right. Well, let's see the aroma has kind of backed up the dollar amount, I think, to some extent. Nice balance.
Aroma promise.
We need at least the other 50%. Let's see if the taste also backs that up. If that can come for the other 125.
Let's do it.
We've got 125 nose.
Well, 125 on the nose? Okay.
Yeah, 125. Right. If it's an even split, I don't know.
Okay. Definitely the money on that is, and the payoff is the finish.
Yeah, finish is fantastic.
It does it kind of like the aroma. It's very similar to the aroma in that it leads with that little bit of the peatiness, that kind of characteristic,
right.
And then it goes into that nutty, into the little bit of creamy, a little bit of the fruit. It goes into all of those things, and then it just hangs there. It just lingers there, and you don't. I mean, certainly you're going to take another sip, but it's not like. You don't need to for a while. You can just savor that flavor because it just hangs there. It's wow.
It floats.
It floats. It hangs there.
It hangs there. Thank you. Yeah, it hangs there. Yeah, no, I definitely agree 100%. Like so, the very beginning, you're thinking like, oh, this is kind of not. It seems
$250. Wait. Oh.
Yeah. The very beginning of it, you're kind of like, oh, this is a little, one note, not a lot. And like I said, you're just getting, like I said, again, that little bit of the, the peat and the smoke, like I said, very light. So that's, but then like, as soon as it just gets a little, like halfway down your palate, all of a sudden it's like, oh, here's a little caramel for you.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, then it kind of lightens again. And then it just, that finish is everything you just said. You get a little bit of the nuttiness, then you get the caramel again, then you get the sherry or, some sort of cherry like kind of flavor in there.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, a little bit of vanilla on some, on the sip. It's just, it's just honestly, this is when they talk about a long finish, this is what I finally will know to think of.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, it's a lingering finish, or like this to me is now the definition of that.
Yeah, it's still there.
It's not just about and this isn't always what they mean, but sometimes they say that and it's like, oh, just because it's warm, or it's, you know, like, oh, I
Right.
really keep tasting this same flavor.
Yeah.
This to me is like, just amazing. Just
Yeah.
how it, like I said, just how it finishes, how it comes back forward, and just really just presents itself in so many different ways. Like I said, across your palate, it's just, honestly, it's fantastic.
It is quite. That is a nice.
We got a deal. We got a steal.
Well, I know, like, I remember last year, I remember the Duncan Taylor thinking that there was more peat in that.
Which there is some of that left,
and which
at
we'll
our
be
brother's
able to-
house.
that's right.
We'll be able to compare.
Have an eyedropper full of it. You know.
Yeah, probably.
Two drops
Yeah.
for everyone.
Yeah.
But there's I remember that just all of those. I remember all the flavors we found in there. They kept kind of rolling over each other, which was really cool. But there was the peat was more expressive in that one. This one is
I would
not,
agree.
which I'm fine with. I actually appreciated the peat in that one, and normally
Yeah.
I'm not as much. But this one, I'm glad that very glad this is what it is.
It's just amazing balance, and like I said, I think maybe also like in the nose because of the, you know, more mid-range alcohol content, you can take so much of a deeper sniff too. Like you can really get a lot of those different flavors. But yeah, it's just, it's honestly fantastic.
Look at what they say for the finish. Their tasting notes.
Long, gentle, and nutty.
That's right.
That's right. Kind of like our podcast.
That's right.
Some would
Long,
say
gentle, yet
nutty. Yet nutty. Yeah. No, this is really now.
And spice notes.
As we've talked a few times before, it's always kind of like we did this for a special occasion.
Right.
Like I said, we had a lot of people, like I said, that were very generous to us. We threw in some of our own money, as we usually do as well, to kind of, just, to make this happen. So is this something that you would spend to have a very nice bottle of for yourself? Like, I know I'm going to have this. I'm going to have it maybe once or twice a year. It's going to last. Like you just said, like, again, we don't get to drink the Duncan Taylor every day. So that's why that one has lasted that long.
Right.
Our brother has
Lasted
had
for 12
amazing,
months.
has
We
had
talked
amazing
about the dollar,
willpower.
yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, if you break that down on a month to
Yeah. 170 for that one.
For over 12 months, not bad.
Yeah. It's like a Netflix subscription,
$14.
really.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's your Scotch Netflix subscription.
But you're not enjoying it every month, so.
No, that's true. And not
Or
for
every
that many
day.
hours,
Yeah,
I suppose.
Yeah. But yes, along those lines. So.
But yeah, so it's that thing, like, I have a few bottles of bourbon that I was able to get actually at regular retail price that are very expensive on the secondary market because they're hard to find. And I have those, and I'm glad I have them. I don't drink them very often, but to me, it's neat having a couple bottles like that where it's like, oh, this is my, special, like, where you can say, like, do you want to have a little bit, like, it's kind of like that neat thing. Like, we talked about like what booze you leave out depending on the people that are coming over. Like, who's your inner circle of alcohol?
You can tell how loved you are.
Yeah, exactly. Like every time I come over, Keith has put his 12-year Weller away. It's like, what's going on? Like, why is this?
Budweiser out.
Yeah, it's Budweiser and,
well, you can tell.
and Von Kruger Scotch.
Yeah, Von Kruger
what is
Scotch.
going on?
That's
I think I know what your answer is. For me, I don't know if it would be this one in particular, but I could see having a nicer bottle, maybe close to 200.
Yeah.
That is like something I'm, like I said, not going to have very often, but it's just almost like and I do have this. Like, I don't know. I like being able to say that. And maybe it's more about that than the whiskey itself. But I mean, obviously I wouldn't do that for something I thought was garbage.
Right.
That's not exciting. People are like,
gross.
yeah, exactly. But like I said, having had something like this, like we always talk about, like, oh, if I get some gift cards over the holidays and then I just add a little bit to it.
Yeah.
Oh, I might get one of these.
Yeah. I appreciate the effort, the craftsmanship in a beverage like this. I appreciate all the flavors going on. I don't have that much money wise. That's just not where I choose for my disposable income. I respect those people who do and who like you that you like those things and I just for me it just doesn't it's just not. Yeah, I'm just not there. I don't know what I said about the Duncan Taylor last year.
I can't remember either.
I'm
Going to the archives. Maybe we'll watch both of them.
I'm guessing that I may have thought that I would, but also too that was 170 or 160.
Yeah, so about $70 cheaper.
But even still, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I really appreciate being able to have things like this and to have even to go to some place that can offer me a pour of this and maybe you spend a little bit of money just to try it. That's probably where I am with things like that. I will put my money into the beers and the wines and things like that, but that is by no means besmirching
Yeah,
this beverage or
no.
or anyone else who would invest and who can invest in that. It's just not my thing.
He's saying that because I'm sitting at the other microphone right next to him.
Right? No, that's right.
I'm not besmirching
I'm besmirching
this guy.
with those the same people who.
No,
besmirched it.
I agree though, because there was one of the other ones that I was interested in. They did have at Total Wine, but we would have had to up the budget to like, what was it, $350 or $380. They had the 18-year Whistle Pig double barrel or something like that.
Right.
I'd already gotten to try that because I was, like I said, we have a place down in Southern Arizona, like I said, it's called Batch, and they have tons of different whiskeys, and they get in a great selection of different things, and they do have ones like that are normally, a large price range, like one like this, that would be more expensive for a pour, but if you want to pay a little bit, but then just be able to have the experience,
Right.
you can do that, and that's honestly, like I said, at some point we need to go down there together because you can do different pours and things of everything,
things.
and that's
That sounds
really
fun.
neat. Maybe even do a podcast from there too.
Oh, if they are open to that.
I can't see why they wouldn't be. as long as they open and pour, well, we could be there.
That's right. We'll be there.
We will be there. But yeah, no, I think if you have the means, I think this is
Yes.
excellent. And obviously, you do have to like Scotch a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's a lot of wonderful bourbon type things because of, like I said, obviously using the American oak.
Right.
But it still has that little bit of upfront, albeit reserved. People sometimes are very sensitive to that, peaty, briny kind of flavor,
the
little smoky.
Inherent Scotchness of it.
So if that is not your thing, then that may just rule this out for you. But if that is even like, I kind of like that, and this is, a dollar amount that you don't have a problem with, or if you have a place in your local hometown that does offer whiskeys and they may have this, I really think this one is
It's very
awesome.
good. The finish is it's
The
still
finish,
there.
the finish
I
is
haven't had a sip in 5 minutes. I don't think it's still there.
the finish is honestly, one of the best I think I've ever had, just for complexity and like again, it's that same thing of like long finish. Now I finally kind of know what that at least to me, this is now my definition of it. So if someone else says that and I try something, I'll be like, that's not a lot. Have you had the Balvenie 21?
Balvenie 21.
If you haven't had that,
PortWood.
I don't even want to speak with you. But yeah, like I said, this is definitely something we would not be able to do without all of our wonderful followers or subscribers, viewers, all that, just to
we should have
support.
said cheers to them.
Yeah, cheers
all
to
of
them
you.
for sure.
Yes.
Like I said, this has been fantastic, and it's great that we're able to share this. Like I said, not only with you, but with the rest of our family and stuff like that. And again, because of all of you. Because of you. You sing the rest of it. Okay, no, that's it.
Are you going to go?
I'm going to have some scotch on the sidewalk. I don't know.
21-year-old PortWood Scotch. Yeah. How did Kelly Clarkson get into our
I
podcast?
don't know. We always have to get in a little singing at some
Of
point.
course, there has to be singing.
And if any of
Merriment.
this, yeah, exactly. If any of this was of enjoyment to you at all, and you made it to this point, we appreciate it. You can go to our website at AboutBeverages.com and check out some of the other videos that we talked about this distillery, as well as you can go to our YouTube page, subscribe there for all of our latest podcast videos, all those things that come up. And it's not always just Scotch. We definitely do bourbons and a lot of beer and wine and sparkling mineral waters and all kinds of things. So it's not just about alcohol with us. Sodas, we've done some crazy, some interesting Japanese sodas with things you got to push
And
down
the,
and they slam in, and I think I'm going to break the bottle. And
Memorable from this year for me was or was it this year, the Coca-Cola, the peach? And
that was definitely really good. Yeah, look for that. Look for the Georgia Peach Coca-Cola podcast where we tried those. Those were also quite delicious. And we are live as well sometimes. I'd say sometimes. Most Thursday nights around 5:30 Pacific. You can find us on twitch.tv/AboutBeverages. And have I forgotten anything?
You've forgotten our 3 pillars of social media, which are our Facebook,
Yes.
Instagram, and of course Twitter, which is where we tweet frequently throughout the week. We let you know when we're about to go live. We will get better. We promise to be better at letting you know what we will be podcasting on during the week. That will happen, and but like I said, we'll let you know what's going on throughout the week there, and also like I said, let you know we're about to go live on Twitch.
Yeah, that is like I said, definitely the best place for that, and we will get better. That'll be our New Year's resolution that we'll try and decide by like Sunday or Monday at the latest, and so then you at least have a couple days if you want to try and find the beverage before Thursday. But as we always say, whether we like it or not,
You should give it a shot.